I've got a lot to say, can't hold it in this time. Got no filter, I got no filter. 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 No filter, I got no filter.
Welcome to Tuesday Night Hangout. I'm your host, and one of your hosts, I should say. First of all, I'd like to apologize. Apparently, I set the time wrong. It's my first time doing this, apparently. uh, so, on the panel tonight, we have Mr. Will Fly. How we doing, Will?
What's up, man? Good to be here Tuesday night. My favorite second day of the week, each week.
Oh, man. Thank God. Mr. Mark McElroy, how we doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Glad to be here and glad to see everybody in the chat.
And our special guest tonight is Cole. He is the guest, or the honorary guest of the show tonight, and he's got some information, some stories to tell us, and we're super excited to hear about it. Welcome, Cole. You're on mute, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you having me on here. Looking forward to it.
Oh, Mr. Will, our guest tonight is traveling because he's up in the northern states where it's not Florida, where we have the door open and the fan on because it's super hot. 80, what is it right now? I can't even tell you. Anyways, so tonight's show is going to be about the midair collision that happened. Was that Salton Sea, correct?
Flying Circus.
Flying Circus. Okay. And FYI, it's 76 here right now. 76. Freaking hot. Air conditioner's about to come on. Just so you know. Cole's losing his mind. He's about to lose his
No way. Too hot.
So I reached out to Cole because, most people have probably seen the video. We're going to watch it again. And we're all pretty familiar with the one perspective, the first guy, the wing in front. But I was really interested to hear what was going on behind that wing, the second wing. And Cole was gracious enough to come on the show, and just a little bit of background. I just met him. But he's at that time, he had a little over 2 hours of flying. He just started in late December. He was trained by a professional instructor. And man, I think you said that was your third flight, right? When that happened, Cole?
Yes, that's correct. That was my third flight, and it was a little less than 2 hours on the motor that I had and what I've been started to do.
Okay. And first of all, I want to say that you're the only person that I've personally met who has had a midair collision. So man, I can't. Each time I think about that, I think of all the different ways that could have gone wrong.
100%.
And so really glad you're okay. But here's another thing that came to mind when I first saw this happen, and I heard that you had like 3 flights in. I'm like, man, I sure hope that doesn't ruin the guy's flying career. I sure hope that he doesn't think that that's what this is all about, because this is an anomaly, really. I mean, it's not a real common occurrence that you hear about midair collisions and stuff. So it's a great topic. And yeah, thanks for coming on tonight.
No, thanks for having me. Yes, it is rare occurrences. I've heard from hundreds of people in this community of this in this sport that throwing reserves alone is just really a rarity too.
Yeah, it's exactly right. What I'm going to do, Shane, is, and if you all have any questions in the chat, we're going to do our best to get to them. But we'll start off by rewatching the, if I can find it. Dang it, where'd I put it?
Hey, Will, James had a question. Was that his third flight total or third flight since leaving training?
That was his third flight total, right, Cole?
That is correct. Third flight total.
Okay.
Whoa, that changes things. I thought it was third flight without instruction.
No, dude. This is like the
Oh,
flight out, man. Like I had a guy help me on the tarmac or the airfield, help me get me in the air. Get me there, and I just went flying, man. It was great.
Cole, listen, dude. At no point, third flight outside of instruction and having 30 plus flights during instruction should this ever have been attempted. Just so you know.
Well, I spent 9.5 years in the Marine Corps. I kind of got, I don't know. I just got steals, the balls of steals, I guess.
No. Listen. First of all, thank you for your service. Thank you for coming on tonight. I mean, we all greatly appreciate the community itself. Greatly appreciates it because we need to learn from mistakes, not your mistakes, but from mistakes. And this is spot on what we need to talk about.
No, I agree to that. Be quiet, Mr. Ollie. Sorry, my dog's next to me here, and patient. But yeah, you're right. I agree with that.
Right on, man. The questions are already coming in here.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be a lot.
We'll do our best, and I suspect that as we go along, a lot of the questions will kind of be answered, but we'll certainly do our best. Let me go ahead and show the video here. Share screen. Window. There and there. Can you see that?
Yes.
All right. And let's see. I guess I don't have to worry about the volume. Okay, so right there, I hear some lines going into the screen, Cole. I mean, into the prop. I'm assuming that's Nick's, the other guy's prop. But were those your lines?
Yeah, actually, it was my lines. One of my A's got cut during the one point of this flight. When he came in, my chute hit. It looked like it hit the prop. It split it a little bit, and then it got hung up a little bit there as well. And yeah, that's when I was like, "Oh crap, something's happening."
Okay. And so when kind of give us the setup as to how you guys managed to come together.
So he come flying out of my left view, straight out, and I'm like, "What the heck?" He's getting really close, and I'm trying to figure out which way he's going, and I'm kind of banking away, and you can clearly see at the very beginning of the video where he's pulling and looking straight at me, and I'm like, "Why is this guy just eyeballing me?" And so he comes in close enough, and I'm trying to at that point, I'm trying to drop. I'm going to get away from him. I left my throttle off, and I'm seeking altitude. And then he's just coming in closer and closer at this point. And then all of a sudden, contact when I'm trying to drop. I mean, it was me no turning. It was me trying to bank to the right, but the wind was so strong. It was keeping me on straight course. And then he was aggressively coming in at this point.
Okay. And had you ever heard of a wingtip touch at this? I'm assuming that's what he was trying to do.
Yes and no. I was told before by my instructors, but it was like something like don't ever attempt to do, unless you've been under the belt of so many flights or however to trust somebody. Many factors played into it. But I had no intention and no idea what he was about to do. Okay.
So you guys didn't talk about it beforehand, or?
Well, we was a discussion of it, but it was like, no, we're not going to do this. He apparently had been doing this all day, all weekend. And I don't know if he even knew who I was at this point. I didn't even know who he was coming up in my airspace.
Man.
Okay. So there was no pre-flight discussion on what you guys planned to do.
Not like that. No, nothing like that. We did talk about, he was teasing about wingtips with other people, and it was like, no, don't do that. And I'm like, no, I don't have any experience in doing this, so there's no business for me to do it.
Okay.
I was just texting Mark. Hopefully he can help us keep track of the questions.
Yeah, I am. I'm writing them down actually as I'm seeing them. Let me know when you want to get into some of them.
Well, first, I want to explain to Cole something. You're going to have both sides of the spectrum on comments. And by no means are we here to bash you or this other pilot that I bite my tongue on. But I will say some are going to be okay to ask and some are going to be a little sensitive or whatever. I'm not calling you, so I'm just saying it is what it is. I want to be fair where our logo is no filter. So if the question is being asked, if you don't want to answer it, just say you don't want to answer it. Just move on.
Fair enough.
Absolutely.
First of all, the tip touch at that at that height was ridiculous for anybody to attempt, especially for a guy who's only had 3 flights.
And if I recollect, that was about 500 foot off the ground almost. And if looking at the video and other people tell me, but from impact to landing was 23 seconds.
Yeah,
and
no,
it's pretty wildly.
Right. No, it's you're lucky to be. I don't know. I'm going to say this. It's going to come out wrong. You're lucky to be talking to us. I mean, most people find themselves very lucky to talk to us, but just totally kidding. But seriously, so during your training at school, you didn't get any flights in there, or you only had 2?
Yeah, I had some flights in there. I had almost an hour, or no, about almost an hour of flight or so. I can't remember it right now with the top of my head. But yeah, it was several hours. I mean, sitting on there about 2 hours, and then I was like, yeah, I'm going to continue the sport, of course. And so yeah, it was like roughly 2 hours of flight.
Okay, so how many actual takeoff and landings did you have at school?
2.
Okay.
I mean, I can tell you I'm a baby at this, basically.
No. Listen, I'm not judging you. I just want to know the number. When I left school, I had 34, I think, takeoff and landings.
Yeah, we were trying to do that, but where we were at in Tennessee was rather cold, so it was like we was only two students at the time, and we were lucky to be with these guys and had the hands we did. We learned a lot, but the weather did not permit very well with us, with the wind and rain that we had in Tennessee. So we would have gotten more, but yeah, I mean, I feel confident enough just to go to the flying circus. I'd find somebody there that I could trust, not the person obviously to hit me, but but I was very confident enough to find somebody out there to help me get me off the ground. And sure enough, they got me off the ground. And then obviously this incident happened.
Well, first of all, I just want to say you have bigger cojones than me, because after 3 years of flying, I still would not go to flying circus or Salton Sea and fly. Just say me personally. I'm just saying for me personally, it's too chaotic. It's too. I've never been. I would go there and not fly, but I would love to go there and just hang out and see everybody.
No, it was actually cool that going there and actually seeing everybody and meeting people like that, and actually being in part of that type of group and networking was amazing.
Yep.
And that's important. And then on top of that, it was very chaotic. I mean, there was times where being a new pilot, I'm looking around, I'm like, I am not going to do that. That does not look like it's safe. There's too much congestion, and just any probability is out there. I mean, the wind, anything. I mean, still learning. I mean, like I'm not discouraged from what happened here, but I'm going to continue to fly. And luckily, the owner of the airstrip down there invited me to come down there and train with him and actually learn to fly better.
Right. No, actually, looking at this video that we haven't quite got all the way through, I'm telling you right now, I think my reaction after 3 years of flying would be way different response than what you had during this flight. I think I would have went in a panic mode, to be perfectly honest with you. Once I realized I was attached to this guy, and he didn't shut his motor off, and the motor is still running, and the prop is still spinning on my A lines, and I'm attached to him, Dude, I'm telling you right now, it would have been complete. I would have thrown my reserve. We would have all gone down in a blaze of glory because, dude, I would have panicked in a heartbeat.
Oh man, dude, like my initial start of it was like when I saw him like coming into me, he oscillated right into me, and I'm like, you could hear at the very initial start of the video, I mean, of the impact, you could hear me screaming a little bit.
Yes,
That was you.
That was me screaming the SH word, the S word, and I mean, like, oh my god. So now at this point where I'm attached to him right now, like I was sitting there going, okay, shoot, all I could do now is try to rip my A's out, trying to like back my A's out of him, like try to pull the back of my chute to try to get some lift in the front of my chute, and it wasn't. If the A's got snagged in something, it got snagged on it, and the guy when he landed, he was like, I was like yelling at him because he jerked me off my feet, and then like I went forward, and like I'm turtled out on the stomach, and his prop throwing wood, debris, and like chunks of his prop everywhere, and I'm yelling, "Kill the motor! Kill the motor!"
Dang.
And he had to literally reach around the back of him, and I'm like sitting there just having my head ducked just to keep away from that prop.
Yeah. Even that could have gone wrong because well, let's continue on the let's watch some more of the video. We'll talk about that. Okay, so at this point, your wing actually collapses and lunges forward, right? So did your wing come in contact with this prop?
Yeah, at this point, I think it had already come in contact, but it might have come in contact multiple times. I was at this point where I'm in the air with him. I'm thinking twice to myself, am I going to throw reserve? I'm like, no, I'm not. And so at this point, when I saw my wing stuck up, I'm like,
yeah. So you're like at 500 feet or 400 feet, somewhere thereabouts.
It's about 400 feet, maybe a little more.
Okay. Yeah, you're attached right there. I mean, looking at it again, the physical wing was attached. I mean,
yes, it's his A lines are behind his prop at this point.
Yeah, and they also had a package. I didn't even see that actually. It looked like it went into my chute a little bit. It had 2 streamers. It looked like they went into my lines as well.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a good question since you brought it up. I've had incidents where I fly with the streamer, and I've flown behind people with streamers. And one thing about that is when you're flying behind someone with the streamer and you get close to it, the streamer just comes right at you. I mean, it's like sucked right towards you. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Did that have any, did that pull you in? Or
there was a lot of wash. There was a lot of like prop wash and everything else. I mean, there was a lot of things that the factor of that. It felt like it was sucking me in too. I mean, it felt really stranging. I mean, and then when you go back to where the first impact was, you could see where he let off his throttle, and where he penciled it right into me, and freaking, it felt like it was being sucked into me anyway because of the backwash, the prop wash.
So you let off the throttle.
Yeah,
right?
I was off the throttle trying to get around him, and I was trying to dive underneath him, and then he kept on coming down on altitude, and then you could see where he's like half braked, and he's looking right at me like, "Hey, I'm gonna still hit you." And it's like, "Oh Jesus, man, get away from me!"
Yeah, I'm curious why. And no judgment here, no judgment. But did you ever think about? Was there something keeping you from turning off to the right, or were you so focused?
Yeah, it was a little bit more focused, a little bit, but also I was trying to pull, but there was a lot of force of wind coming out from my on the right side, so it was kind of hard, to pull my wing around to get, to even keep a straight course at this point. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. What time of day was this?
Oh Lord, it was probably about 6. No, it was early than that. So it was about 5:30
in the evening.
In the evening, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool deal. Any questions, Shane or Mark?
Hey, 5:30 in the morning here is still pitch black, just so you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well.
Yeah,
Mark, go ahead with your
they
question.
wanted to know if we could back the video up, which we've had this picture up here the whole time. if we could back it up and kind of show it from as much as we have from the beginning. And another question that just came up is who released that 360 cam video?
I believe that was Nick who probably, or no, excuse me, the other pilot that released it, if I remember.
You are right on both accounts.
Yeah, it would have to be because of, like, you know, it's pretty obvious where the
Yeah.
Who's where?
Now, what was damaged on your equipment?
My wing has got a couple tears in it. A batten came out. I think one was torn or ripped in half, and my motor came out fine.
Oh, good. Prop and everything?
Everything was intact. I even attempted to go flying the next day, but my gas and air, I think I got more air in my fuel line than I need, so I'm going to have to go back through and check the air through the lines and make sure it's still working. But other than that, yeah, the motor was intact, prop was intact, just fast.
Cole, you had this mid-air collision, and the next day you're going to go flying? You must be like a Marine.
9.5 years.
big old kahunas right there, dude. I'm telling you right now, that right there.
I spent some time on search and rescue up Intermountain search and rescue as well. So yeah, I go out there and get recoveries off of ambulances is really.
Yeah, you almost had to search and rescue yourself out of the damn desert there. I'm just saying.
Yeah, right. I was thinking that too. It's better to be the search and rescuer than the search and rescue. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play this video all the way through, and then so we can
start it over though. I wanna just right from the beginning, dude. I've watched this 1,000 times. I'm telling you.
Yeah, what wing is that? What wing you got, Cole?
That one is a Velocity Core 2.
And he's flying a BGD?
I have no clue what he's flying, to be honest with you, but I know it looks like a B wing to me.
Yeah, it's a BGD. Boom.
Yeah, he should have been able to freaking bank out and got. And from what I remember, from what I was told, and even after talking to Gott's video, I was supposed to have the right of way in the first place.
He's got a faster wing. If he has the faster wing, you have the right of way because you can't get out of the way of
apparently this guy's nuts.
Yeah.
So did he approach you from behind?
It was kind of it looked like it came from behind. I don't remember. I just remember him coming up so fast. It was like, holy crap, because at the very beginning of the video, you could see me kind of jerk my wing like, whoa, what the hell was that, you know? And then all of a sudden he's like on me, and it's like a matter of seconds. I'm like, what in the world's just happening? Why am I hung up on this guy's, wing or anything, prop?
Yeah. Dang, man.
Dude, I'm telling you. I mean, this is a phenomenal video for all of us to learn. I mean, why would an experienced pilot, and I use that word very loosely, just be involved in this? It makes no sense. You have 3 flights. Can you guys remember your third flight? Whether it's 4 hours into flying or you're 45 minutes into flying. There's no way somebody should go up to a pilot that has 3 flights and say, or even think that this is okay. It kills me.
Yeah.
It almost killed me.
Oh, shit. It almost kills Cole.
So, Mark, how about the questions?
Yes.
We had a question from Angela earlier that was, how did he train and with who? Where did he train and with who?
That was with Nashville Paramotor in Tennessee, and the guy's name was Ty Downing.
Okay. Alrighty, and then somebody had asked about a reserve, and tell us again if you fly with a reserve, and what was your thought process on not throwing it if you had one?
Yes, I do carry a reserve, and I was sitting there as I've skydived a little bit, so I have a little bit of experience with the free diving, and I I didn't want to pull the reserve because it just looking at my wing, it would have gotten hemmed up in my wing, or hemmed up in his motor or his wing. It would have done no good.
Yeah.
I'm agree with that.
And
You
and I was wondering when you were when you were running back up on him, I mean, we saw him get off the gas and you approaching basically behind him and getting sucked in. Uh, how close were you physically to his prop?
However long the lines are from the chute to my harness.
Yeah, that's rough.
hey, real quick, we all know Linda Anderson. She's the paramom of PPG, and I just want to congratulate her. I just seen on Facebook before the show that her and Chris Hemsworth are now in a relationship. Congratulations, Linda.
Right
Um,
on.
I'm just saying, you can't post stuff on Facebook and not expect to be called out on YouTube. I'm just saying.
Dude, I need to start paying attention to what's going on Facebook.
I'm sorry. Listen. I had that one saved for earlier today, and I just had to spit it out. Apparently, Linda found it hilarious.
Well, congratulations. So,
Yes.
hey, you said something. So, okay, and we were talking about this earlier, but it almost looks like you two are like almost intentionally trying to come together. But as you explained, you were letting off on the throttle to try to go up underneath him, right? And then what happened?
Well, apparently I was trying to get away, and apparently in the video you could just see him just dropping down onto me, and like I didn't at this point I didn't even know what to think. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just like it happened so fast when he came flying up on me, man. You guys, I'm flying straight line, minding my own business, and all of a sudden I'm looking back beside me. I'm like, oh, geez, man, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
It's just like out of the blue. I just wasn't expecting anything. I was on my way back up the runway to do another pass, and freaking, I mean, she can dream.
That's funny.
Yeah, but I was just minding my own business, and then just dude buddy flew up on me and decided he was gonna stare at me until he was close enough to hit me.
Yeah, well. I will tell you this. Rumor has it, supposedly, this happened at Dave Purden's last year as well with the same pilot. Not to this extent, but
Right. I've heard actually over the weekends several other people and witnesses he was intentionally and unintentionally doing wingtips to people. And there's another video of this particular individual doing the same thing with another individual, and the other individual got away from him, and he even on his little what do you call it caption, it says chickened out, blah blah blah. Like, really, dude?
so I will tell you in front of everybody here, I literally have no love, if you will, for this other pilot. I've seen and heard a gazillion things, and it is what it is. Um, Cole, you're lucky to have gotten through this. Jesus, man, I could not imagine my third flight, whether it's 6 hours in, 5 hours in, whatever. Like, dude, I am so impressed with your attitude. I'm impressed with the wants to get back in the air the next day. It is truly inspiring because I don't know if I would have had the nerve even at 3 years. I would question my next launch, to be perfectly honest with you. Have you been in the air since this incident?
Well, actually, that's funny. Like I said, it didn't discourage me none because I mean, like everybody was telling me, like, get off that horse, or get off the ground, get back on the horse, freaking, don't let it buck you off like that. And the next morning, I literally got my other wing out with the help of other people that witnessed this incident, and they grounded this individual who hit me. They grounded. They would not give him a prop. They would not sell him a prop. But these people were actually offering me to follow the thing grounded. And I attempted to do it, but again, my motor has something to do with a little bit of air leak in the gas line, I believe. And every time I was idling fine, then when I went to go throttle, it just died. So after about 7 or 8 attempts to try to get back up in the air, I just said, heck with it. I'll do it again next time. And, you know, the owner of the airfield, Mo, he was like, yeah, man, come out any weekend you want. I'll help you out. A lot of people have actually love to fly with me. They would love to train me more and just get me in the air because how I handled myself. I brought people, to trust of like, hey, look, this guy's not going to do something stupid. He didn't panic. He's off the line. But this incident should have never happened. I don't think I'll ever do a wingtip in my life. I'll probably, that would probably ruin it for me. But I think I love to fly with other individuals, but I think airspace is very, very important.
No, and I agree with you. Once you're comfortable, and here's the trick to it. Once you're comfortable with the person or persons you are flying with, and you know how they fly, a wingtip touch is non-eventful, if you will. I've had dozens done. I've never touched any other person's tip, but I have had my tip touched because I'm a pitcher, not a catcher. Actually, no, I'm a catcher. I'm a catcher, not a pitcher. Shit, that didn't work out well for me. Dang.
Great podcast.
Shoot,
I totally wouldn't be afraid of a tip touch. I think it was Shane's Planet Shane that said in 3 years of flying, he's done it once. Same here. That's it. And like Shane said, it was uneventful. I'm glad I did it, but I knew the person that I was doing it with, and we talked about it on the ground beforehand. So there weren't any surprises.
Right. And going back to you guys asking me if this was it talked about with this individual or not, it was brought up, but it was like, no, dude, this is not going to work out. I mean, he explained it to me, this, that, and everybody was looking at me just going, don't do it. And it was like I said, I didn't know who that person was that was coming out of the sky at me, and I'm like, I don't know that person's wing. I don't know. I can't see his face.
Well, the more important thing is that even if you're super, super experienced, you have no way of judging the other person's experience if you don't know them, So, yeah, there's that.
No, I agree with that. I mean, it's like you guys saying, 3 years. I mean, you obviously fly with people for 3 years. You know those people, I don't know anybody. I'm learning. I mean, everybody's got to start somewhere. I mean, that's the gist of it. You guys did too. But it's unfortunate that my third flight in, several hours under my only two hours under my belt roughly, and I'm sitting there, I've been roughly about 45 minutes in the air, if that, before this individual ran into me. So it was like, I was really enjoying myself, dude. I was really I was free. I was a free bird,
Until you weren't.
Yeah. Until the government grabbed a hold of your airlines.
They thought Chinese or something. I don't know.
Oh, jeez.
Now, Cole, have you sent your wing out to get it repaired?
I have sent my wing out to Cloud9. I talked to them yesterday, and I sent it out yesterday. They should receive it sometime this week.
Okay, so between you and this other pilot, loosely use that word, have there been any discussions on who's paying for what?
No, that's a good question. That individual and I had talked about it before leaving. He said he'll make it right. We haven't talked since, but it's like it goes to being like new to this whole sport, not really knowing how to go about, getting restitution, I guess you call it, from this incident. I don't know what the rules are, basically the etiquettes, if that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, he should definitely replace my parrot or replace the variable, because what he did was like negligence, pure negligence. It should have never happened. He I don't know how he even knew I don't even know if he knew who I was.
Well, I will tell you, I have a friend of mine, a very, very, very close friend of mine, who is in law. Let's just say he's in law enforcement, and he was like, he watched a video and literally just went off. He's like, dude, I would have had the cops called. I would have had this guy charged with reckless endangerment, a whole bunch.
There was a lot of things that was involved with that, and I don't know what that was entailment, because there was an officer on scene, medics, a lot of individuals, but since I think because it happened on private property, it was like a waivers or something being signed. There really wasn't much I think that could have been done. I don't know, but dude,
No,
I remember sitting on that ground and people pulling me away like, you got to go. Because I was so mad. I wasn't even scared. I was more mad than I was scared at that point. I was like, dude, I landed on my feet. I took 2 steps. I was on the ground and I look up, and all of a sudden he's coming back right up the top of me, jerking me off my feet, sailing me into the desert 5 to 10 feet, dragging me across with this prop on. I mean, yeah, you're probably right. There should have been some, like, I wish there was some kind of repercussion of what he's done, because apparently he's done this more than one time in the past, several times in the past, from other people. And I'm glad that the people in Motown at the Flying Circus grounded him and didn't let him have a prop, because they were afraid of their lives being up there with them.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm going to ask the question in the chat. Cole, I don't know if you can see the chat, but you can go back tomorrow or whatever, and look at the answer. Is Cole, I'm sorry, Cole, I've been watching The Ranch again, so Colt is like the. So
I know.
I have literally been fighting all night long. I knew it was going to happen. I just knew it was going to happen. Is Cole in the right to get his equipment replaced, or is he in the wrong and should just pay for the repairs himself? If you could please, there are 35 people in the chat. If we can get some sort of census on the answer of that, should Cole get his equipment replaced by this other pilot, or should he just pay for himself? Let's ask in the chat. That's fair, right? No filter. Here we are. Let's ask it.
No, that'd be great. I mean, I would like to know too. I mean, yeah, just people let me know. I mean, like, let me know how, and also let me know how I'll go about getting this individual to pay for this incident. And if you guys any advice,
I would tell you, if he doesn't pay, you just call his probation officer.
So then the question in a general sense is, if somebody does something and you weren't involved in it, or didn't have any whatever, if they damage your equipment, who's responsible?
That's a good too. I mean, like, that goes with everybody. I mean, who is responsible? It's like a car wreck, what happens?
Oh well, I think it's recognized as the fastest or the faster wing that overtakes a slower wing is responsible. Am I wrong on that?
No, I mean, I think you're right about that also, but going back to what Tucker God's video said when he did his analysis of it, that the person right has the right of way, and clearly the pilot came on me from the left, scaring me half to death almost. Well, it's startling me and then pisses me off right there.
Sure. So the aircraft that's overtaking the other aircraft, the one that's doing the other aircraft has the right of way, not the overtaking aircraft, because obviously less maneuverable, right? And that really, it's also important to keep in mind that the guy in front of you can't see you, So, yeah.
There's some questions about if we could play the video one more time again, the whole thing, and also a little talk about, it looked like that the back pilot, veered into and ran into the back of the front pilot. The front pilot, in my opinion, comes by him, you know, and gets in front of him and gets off the throttle. Um, you
So,
know,
so I would tell you from the camera angle, if the pilot with the camera was to go right, it would actually make the pilot on the right make it look like he's going to the left. I have watched this and studied this video. I
That
can,
camera throws it off too as well.
yes, yes. I am telling you, I have watched this 1,000 times, and I just so you're stationary right there, like you're actually pulling to the right there, and he comes right into you.
Yeah, yeah. So that's exactly. Let's look at that one more time. That's a good point, Shane.
You
I'm
can
telling you,
just
it's
give
the
me.
camera angle. Sorry, Cole. Go ahead.
No, you can see right there. I'm moving right now. See, no, and then he comes flying
He's
in.
pulling right brake.
Yep. He's
So-
and then he's
So if you back it up, and watch his hands. Watch the pilot in the front. Watch his hand. He pulls to the right there.
Yeah.
You can't
throttle.
camera angle or not. You can watch his riser. He's pulling the riser to the right there.
Yeah, if you look at the ground, it makes it a little easier to catch too.
So
Yeah.
so
He pendulum me. He like he oscillated right into me right there.
so the very end of this video where this guy, we're going to call him Joe Schmo, is sitting on the ground and the wings are still, like, the wing is still above him falling back. I want to make a sticker and say, don't be a D-bag, just so you know.
Right.
I'm just saying, dude. Oh, I can't stand this cat. Like,
Dude,
right
there. So when he lands right there, okay, so back up just a little bit. Like right before he lands, my wing starts to like really fold. Right about there is where I'm on the ground, and I'm thinking, oh crap, here he comes. He's about to jerk me off.
Oh, he's flying, and you're on the ground at this point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Right there is when I'm on the ground. When my wing claps, right there is when I'm on the ground, and then whack.
That was a hard hit.
Well, I mean, I landed softly until he jerked me off my feet, and then I was luckily I had my head down and my hands tucked into me while all this debris and wood was flying at me because of this prop.
Okay, so Cole, as he's sitting on the ground, his motor's still running. So clearly he never killed his motor during flight, while your A-lines, the ones that keep your wing afloat or keep it in the air, he's still throttling and letting off on with throttle and never killed his motor.
When he was, I was screaming at him on the ground right before he turns his camera off. You could barely hear me screaming, "Turn off your motor!" And then I'm yelling, "Turn off your effing motor! Turn off your effing motor!" And then people started showing up. He's reaching back, trying to hit a kill switch of some sort, and I'm like, "What the hell?" And and I'm still ducked down. And he finally kills it. And I'm like, "Why didn't you kill your damn motor?" And then everybody's asking him, "Why didn't he kill his motor?" "Oh, my kill switch isn't working."
Is any idea how long that kill switch has not been working?
You know the pilot better than I do.
Well, I'm just asking because I heard rumors. It's been over a year that hasn't.
I hear nothing.
So even without a working kill switch, why in the world would you hit the throttle knowing that you're attached to the pilot behind you? If I let off my throttle, my prop barely spins, and if there's a line in the way, it's not going to spin at all, which is not going to cut your lines. But to continue to hit the throttle, did you ask him what the purpose of him hitting the throttle was?
Dude, I mean, it happened so fast that there were so many people on the scene that they were taking me away because I was about to jump. Like I was going into Marine mode, and luckily a couple people was like, "Hey, look, dude, just grab your stuff. Let's go." So I grabbed, will help me carry my stuff on back to my camp spot, and then what do you guys go? What are the investigators? The U.S.
FAA?
No, the USPGA or not PGA.
USPPA?
What's that?
The USPPA?
Yes, that they were on site when it happened.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think that was Ripa.
That was David Ruff, I think it was Dave Ruff or something.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
And he came up and talked to me and talked to the other pilot. And he looked at the other pilots just shaking his head like, what the crap? You know better than this. You need to do a report. And I said, well, do I need to do a report? He said, you didn't do anything wrong.
Okay, right
He
there.
watched it. David Ruff is Dave Ruff is the
Dave
one who
Ruff.
saw it. Yeah, he saw the whole thing.
Okay, so with that being said, I'd be going after this other pilot with the camera for any and all repairs or replacements. And if you need help with that, Cole, let me know. I will help you very much.
That's much obliged. I appreciate that. That's what I'm looking for guidance on this one.
No, I'm telling you right now.
I'd like to point out that I look a lot better on the screen the last couple minutes.
Yeah, you got a face there.
Dude, I totally forget about that because I'm looking at you guys and it's okay. So yeah, thank you, Mark.
I would have left it.
Angela has a really good question, and kind of all wanting to know what did he say to you after you landed?
Well, Angela, what he said to me, it really wasn't much of a conversation. He was just like he didn't care. Like he literally was just laughing. He's like, "Hey, you okay? Is everything all right?" I'm like, "Do you think it's all right?" I'm like, "Jesus Christ, man, you would kill him."
Okay, so I have a question. Did any after? Oh no, you already answered that. There was people on the scene, dude. I'm telling you right now, if that had been me in that situation, that pilot would have had some what would have been called? How do you say this? He'd have been beat up
Accident
by the ground multiple times, like he had rolled several times on the ground at a high speed before anybody got there. Dude, I'm telling you right now, I would have lost my ever-living crap out of that.
I damn near did, man. I mean, it wasn't much like, I mean, fear is one thing, but like, you know, it's like what Daniel here says. It's always good to always get back on the horse. Yeah, I mean, I'm that mentality, but like, there was a police officer and medic literally right there on scene immediately because they were down there by the aircraft, and they heard everything happen up in the air. And one individual that was there on the scene had actually taken last minute video, and I think I might have sent it to you, Will, of us the last minute of us coming down, where you see my wing fold and his fly over the top of him as we are landing.
I'd love to see that, man.
Hey,
yeah,
this is exactly what I was talking about. Secondary impact injuries. That dude would have gotten a bunch of those.
It just dawned on me what it meant by that. That's funny.
Oh, thanks.
Secondary
Keith.
impact injuries.
Keith and I are on the same page, dude.
I was thinking he was talking about, the impact and
Dude, I'm telling you.
Secondary. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, there would have been a secondary if there was not much of anybody around. But like, dude, it literally people showed up so stinking fast. There was people above us flying around too. Like they all saw it happen. Like it was like a crowd of things. And luckily, like like they told me like, dude, go, get, just go back to camp.
So cool.
And I'm like, all right, fine. And I mean, like the guy who was helping me out was literally like, he even posted, he's like, you can clearly see how he was upset because I came back to camp. My girlfriend was like, oh, what the heck? Who'd you hurt? And I'm like, no, I almost got killed. She wasn't happy with this guy. And apparently a lot of people, including my girlfriend, had a lot of words with him. So I mean, for me, I mean, I kept my distance from him because I just didn't know how to handle it, I guess. I mean, I just almost died. I'm like, Jesus, man, I gotta, I gotta thought process this out.
So Cole, if God forbid this ever happens or happens to anybody else, remember the type of fuel we're running has an invisible flame. You have to beat the hell out of it to put it out. Just remember that. So if they're laying there looking stupid at you, they could be on fire. Beat the snot out of the fire.
No, I got you.
You gotta stop the fire out. I thought he was on fire, bro.
I got it. I didn't have a blanket. I just started throwing sand on him, kicking him in it.
That's funny. So, hey, in all fairness, there hasn't been enough time elapsed, right? Before the guy said he wouldn't pay or had a chance to pay. You don't even know what the damage cost yet, right?
No, not at all. I mean, I just sent the wing out just yesterday. There's no telling. I mean, there's several rips. I got photos of it and everything. I mean, it's at least, what is it? $90 an hour. There's several $100s worth of damages in that wing alone.
Cole, do you have his contact information?
I do have his number.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Okay. No, that's all. I do have his contact information. I'd be more than happy to share it with you if you didn't.
Well, greatly appreciate it. And then I'll probably be looking at talking to you about how to go about this once I get the synopsis of the wing,
Yeah, let's give him a chance to.
No, 100%. 100%.
Give him a chance, but I mean, it's definitely it could have been well avoided.
Yes, 1,000%.
Yeah, and everybody that day after that incident told me he should have never been flying in the first place that day anyway, because they were afraid of maybe alcohol involved, a lot of weed involved. I mean, that's just worse than drinking and driving, if anything else, because you're several hundred feet or more up above air.
I wasn't there. I can't tell you whether it was or wasn't alcohol or narcotics involved. Don't know. All I know is that video right there tells me everything I need to know. That pilot is in the wrong.
And I felt, I mean, being new to the sport, I feel almost guilty, but I mean, it's like, no, I mean, I know I did anything wrong, but I feel like not guilty, I guess, not, I don't know, like kind of like remorse or something like that. I don't know. It's just like, victim remorse or whatever.
No, Cole, I will tell you right now, and I use this very loosely, and I'm not meaning it as a joke, but it's returning fire. Like, this guy attacked you in the air. What happened?
I didn't have a gun.
No, you didn't have a gun, but you have the right. You are in the right. So I got news for you. That pilot, we'll give him time, and we'll figure it out. If there is any, I'm not paying or whatever, let me know. We'll have you back on. We'll have a conversation with it. I'll invite that person, which I swore never would be on this channel ever. But for this situation, I will be more than happy to invite him on with you, and you guys can talk it out if you'd like. I think it's wrong. I think he was in the wrong. And honestly, 3 hour, somebody tore up my new wing. I would want a new wing. A 3-year-old wing, we're going to do repairs. Brand new wing, dude, we got to talk.
Yeah. And that was my conversation with some other people in the community. They were like, dude, I would get it repaired and just ask for a new wing and use that wing as a kiting wing.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is part of the reason why I don't like trying out other wings.
Correct.
Flying somebody else's wing, because number one, I'd feel terrible if something happened. I know I'm going to pay for it regardless. I know I'm going to go out of my way to make sure that the person's taken care of. Meanwhile, it might be his only wing, might be a fly-in, and now he can't fly, right? So that's just kind of how I feel about it. But I think, hey, look, the PPG community, you'll find, is a stand-up community. And when somebody screws up, 99 out of 100, you're going to be taken care of, and no issues. So,
no, I felt that way very much so about this entire community. It's really, really reassuring. I mean, like, people have been phenomenal, and just like everybody says, don't let one rotten egg ruin your entire life of it. Just keep moving, keep going. And I did. I mean, that's what I'm going to continue to do. I mean, I hopefully one day I'll be flying with you guys, and we won't have these incidents.
Hey, so Cole, Shane's Planet Shane makes a really good point. New wing, he buys you one, and he said, well, I would agree with, once he buys you a new wing, you give him your damaged repaired wing.
Else does that.
And then and then he sells yours. I 100% agree with that.
Someone had mentioned that too before, and there's different things that I want to discuss with other people like you guys and Shane here just a moment ago. It's like, yeah, there's a few different scenarios that I'm not sure how to go.
Okay, well, just
Cole,
you deserve to be put back in the same position you were before all of this happened.
correct.
So,
I mean, I could agree with that 100%. I mean, like, I don't feel like it was definitely not my fault. I was not wanting any of this to happen. I don't want nobody to get hurt, and I don't want to be in no report. I don't want to be, I don't mind coming on and talking about it. I shouldn't be the one sitting here on the podcast,
Well, you're allowed, Cole.
Yeah.
You're allowed on this podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just saying.
No, I appreciate it. It was just like, this shouldn't have happened. I never would be here,
No, hold on. Can you see the board? Keith is a phenomenal pilot, and for him to make this joke, I wouldn't expect that because he's not all that funny kind of guy, but he made a funny right there. Got to make Cole whole again.
No, I love this. I really do. Community's outlook on this. This is like, I mean, like it's heartwarming, I guess, like a better words, because I want to be part of this the sport. I mean, it's I want to fly, and I'm a disabled vet, and I no means got a whole lot of money to go buy a fixed wing. So this seems like a lot of fun.
No, listen, I'm telling you right now, this community is, if you're right, you're right. If you're wrong, you're wrong. And I'm telling you right now, you are right. That what happened to you was wrong, and it should not cost, whether you're a disabled vet or not. Again, thank you for your service. It truly is something special to me. My son went into the army, ended up getting cancer and passed from it. But I will tell you right now, when it comes to military people, I'm super sensitive and proud to say thank you, and I'm truly honored for having you serve your country, or our country.
Thank you, Keith, and all you guys. I mean, it's great to have that support. I mean, you guys, I would do the same thing. It's just, this is the best part of it. I mean, I'm very happy to be able to be part of this.
Well, again, wrong is wrong, right is right, and someone needs to make this right with you. So,
and we're counting on it.
Yeah, and
too.
And I'm counting on, if he doesn't, please let me know.
I can see it in your face that you're itching for something.
I will literally go ahead, Mark.
Keith had a question. It was for Waller in the chat, but he hasn't answered it yet. He wanted to know what that hay bale cost.
So, Cole, if you don't know, Brian Haybell Waller, he was. Yeah, I'm just gonna share real quick a slight video that Brian may or may not have involved himself in, but he got a little close during a flight on a hay bale and may or may not have tried to kick it and turned his angle from this angle to this angle, and yeah, it was pretty good. And apparently, a hay bale costs about $40,000.
That's awesome.
Cows are to be hungry.
Oh, man.
Hey, I would like to briefly, if we could, just review the right-of-way rules, and who has the right-of-way and when.
You know, while you're doing that, I'm going to go check the back door.
Go for it, man. You might need to hear this, though, dude. I don't know.
No, I flew with you. I'm fine.
Yeah, okay. So if two aircraft are approaching, let's just say paragliders, okay, or paramotors, okay. If you're approaching each other head on, you turn to the right, away from each other, right? And if you're overtaking a paramotor, you overtake to the
left, I believe.
No, to the right. You overtake to the right.
You're right. Yeah, take it to the right. Yep.
So one thing though is I haven't had this happen. I've had it happen in an airplane, and I've actually come close to a midair collision in an airplane. That was thanks to ATC turning me directly into traffic. But if you're approaching each other head on, I mean directly head on, it can be a challenge sometimes to determine whether that's a head on or whether they're flying away from you. It can be very, tricky. So it's something to keep in mind.
Tricky.
So how about if you're getting ready to launch and there's somebody coming in to land? So if somebody is launching, and then this isn't like a quiz for you, Cole. I'm just kind of throwing it out there for everybody as a refresher. But if you're getting ready to launch and someone is coming in clearly to land, they're established on the final and they're landing. The aircraft that's landing has the right of way, right? Because you're safely on the ground, right? So, yeah. What am I missing, Mark? Oh, how about if you're approaching at a 90-degree angle? So who would have the right of way there?
Everybody on the right, the person on the right.
Yeah, they're on the right is the right. So the person on the right to the other person's right would have the right of way.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, it's a kids thing, but what the other pilot did, it had never been going left. I mean, right, taking left.
Well, and then the only other one I can think of is the lower aircraft. Like, say, now, this one, yeah, okay. If you were flying over another paraglider or paramotor, who would have the right of way there?
The lower pilot.
Lower one.
You can't see above your canopy. That rhymes. You can't see but the canopy.
Right.
So,
listen here, Eminem.
Have I missed any other situations there in the chat? I'm sure they'll let me know if I have.
You might get busted.
Who? Lift Paramotor says, who has the row in a tandem? Oh, right of way. Okay. Who has the right of way in a tandem? Are they both tandems or is it a tandem? So I'm going to say the least maneuverable aircraft or the least maneuverable would have the right of way. And so is the tandem overtaking the paramotor or what? So pilot landing always has the right of way. This is from David Wood. Pilot landing always has the right of way unless this other person is coming into. I'm not going to run. We need like a 30-second, like they have in the networks, like a 30-second delay, so it gives you a chance to bleep things out. Look, I'm not that one. Somebody screws up, even if it was an absolutely ridiculous screw up, and they should be hung by their toenails. I mean, I really hope that this guy makes things right.
But what if the same pilot makes the same mistake over and over and over?
Ooh, I mean, they need to ground him somehow. The rules that are not, they're gray area. How do you really ground somebody?
Yeah. Keith Gray says tandem. So apparently I'm not understanding. I don't have all the facts on that.
Yeah. You're single, so you don't know anything about tandem.
I'm not understanding the question. Who has the right of way in a tandem? I mean, there's not enough information there, but James says tandem. So apparently
I don't know about tandems. I can barely read one of those air chart things that Will's like, oh, this is where we got to go because of this. I'm like, it looks like a round circle thing with some numbers and letters. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Dave. Man.
Hey, Cole, just so you know, the guy Will Fly right there is a complete bad AZZ because he flew all the way across the state of Florida in one day, just so you know.
Oh, that was you, dude? I heard about.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Just so you know, if it weren't for Never Trust a Skinny Chef Shane and his beautiful wife Krista, I would not have been able to do that. So
that's pretty rad, dude. See, that's the kind of thing I want to do. I don't want to do wing overs. I don't want to do acro. I just want to fly, man. I just want to fly.
You say that now.
Yeah, pretty soon it'll be the Alaska trip. And...
Yeah, I'll end up wing and I'll be out doing everybody doing front flips and back flips.
You did a front flip when you got yanked off your feet, right?
No, I actually landed on my stomach, split about 5 feet.
No, that would have been a what do you call the head over heels? The infinite tumble.
Scorpion.
Yeah.
There was no rotation.
Yeah. Well, as soon as we impacted, I killed my probably within probably about 3 seconds, or probably about 3 seconds after impact. I killed my motor. I mean, I knew that was like, okay, this isn't going to work. This is going to come down. We're coming down. So I killed my motor immediately. So, I mean, I knew that was coming. So I wasn't going to be freaking scorpion over and get my feet stuck into the freaking prop, you know?
Yeah, right. So either Mark or Will and I were trying to put this up at the same time because it put it up, took it down, put it up, took it down.
Oh, is that what was going on?
Yes.
Tomorrow, I promise.
Tomorrow? That's really fast, bro.
Hey, that's one up here where I live. They call me tomorrow because I might do it tomorrow.
Well, dude, Cole, I am like stoked that you came on the show. Seriously.
Yeah, we don't.
Thank you guys for having me up here. This is great to be able to be connected with people of your like-mindedness.
Cole, seriously, we don't do guests. We don't have astronauts or whatever. Seriously, we just the three of us hang out, and it's around the campfire. This is what we do at fly-ins after we're done flying. We drink. Well, I drink beer. Mark complains about not drinking anymore. Will's like, I drink diet caffeine free, and then I'll just leave them floating around in Shane's backyard and whatever. It's a long story, but anyways, this is what we do, and I mean we try to be laid back and not so serious. This is a serious situation that needs to be addressed, and I'm glad that this video is out. I don't know why this video is out. The person that allowed this video to be out is, well, not all that smart.
No, it's not really. I don't know why they were. It looked like that person was bragging about it almost. And there's another video that one of my friends sent me that trained with me with the Tennessee. He found the video and he's like, apparently this is not the second time. This is not the only time he's done this.
No,
and off this video of this unconsensual wingtip he went to go attempt with another pilot that was at the circus the day before, and like I said, his caption clearly says, "Oh, he chickened out." Basically, it's like, wow.
Well, I can tell you from one of his closest buddies. I don't know if he wants me to call him his friend, but one of his closest buddy told me in writing on Messenger that this almost exact same scenario happened at Dave Purden's, which, by the way, I don't know what the flying in Colorado looks like. I'm sure it's gorgeous, but the closest thing I got to that is Dave Purden's, which I absolutely love. And Cole, if you happen to be in Florida around which way I got to go, June 8th through 11th, there is there's a first annual fly-in, Fly It for Gage, which is my son who passed the cancer back in 2015. And thank you. All the proceeds, every bit of the proceeds go to a college scholarship in my son's name. So if you happen to be in Florida around that time, that'd be a good time to show up, just so you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm from Georgia originally, from Northeast Georgia, and I got family down in Venice. I like to go visit often, so that'll be something.
That's where I landed, man.
That's where you landed. Yeah. Will landed in Venice. Who knew?
See, that might be serendipity. I gotta go.
I guess so. David Wolf, the answer to your question is Mac Para.
What's that?
in the chat. There was a question in the chat about who has the right of way, and Will flies a Mac Para, so that it's a Mac Para wing that always has the right of way. I mean, he kicked me out of the air and said, "Just give me your fuel so I can cross the state of Florida, Shane." So pound sand.
There you go.
That's right. He turned out all the way, and it's like, why is he always hanging directly behind me like that?
Well, hey, gentlemen, I hate to cut it off, but I got to get the hill. I got an hour and a half drive left on me.
Hey, listen,
parking lot, having fun with you.
Cole, Cole, thank you very much. Thank you for the insight. Watching the video is one thing. Hearing it from the horse's mouth of what happened is a whole different ball game. And
Yes.
we greatly appreciate you, and thank you very much for coming on.
No, I really appreciate you guys and for having me and letting me get my side of it out and helping me out with some of the problems I'm going to be facing with this individual coming up soon.
Yeah. Stay in touch, Cole.
Yeah,
we will,
Cole.
definitely. And if you guys ever find yourself out west here in Colorado, please come on through. It's where I'm going to start flying and start trying to do things. It's about elevations 9,318 foot above sea level. So,
Dang, man.
yeah, where you guys are, it's going to be a hell of a lot of different flying, I guess.
A little carb adjustment there, that's for sure.
Yeah, right.
I was talking about that Mike, you got to get a bigger wing and you got to adjust that high level a little bit. I'm like, yeah, I got it.
Yeah. Well, hey,
All right.
drive safe.
Yes,
Well,
Cole.
Again, thank you very much, and everybody else in the chats. And hey, if anybody wants to reach out to me, feel free to give them my information. You can find me on Facebook, Cole Davenport, and just reach out, please. More people, the better.
Right
All
on.
right.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Cheers
Thank-
on. Be safe flying out there, blue skies.
All right. Thanks, Cole.
All right, guys. Have a great one. All right.
All right,
Yes,
good
sir.
night.
Bye, y'all. Good night.
All right, Will, Mark, I'll meet you here in a second.
I've got a lot to
All right, there's a good chance I pulled that a little early.
Wait, are we still live?
Yes, we're still.
Okay, good. Because Cole was an awesome, awesome guest. He really was. What a nice spirit, man. So kudos to you, dude.
I thought you were going to talk about Dave Wolf. Let me tell you about Dave Wolf.
I've got a lot to say, can't hold it in this time. Got no filter, I got no filter.